My name is Lila Brooks, and I'm 34 years old, standing in the sterile hallway of Mercy General Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama, on October 15, 2025. The air is sharp with antiseptic and the hum of fluorescent lights, the linoleum floor cold under my sneakers, reflecting the stark white walls.
My heart churns like a storm, my clipboard a flimsy encore, my soul a blaze of anguish and defiance.
I'm here as a volunteer patient advocate, but today it's personal. My nephew, Elijah Harris, a 12-year-old with a laugh like summer rain, lies in a recovery room after appendix surgery, his chart clipped to my board. My mother, Grace Harris, a 68-year-old black retired nurse who served in Vietnam, stands beside me, her hands trembling, eyes fierce yet fractured. An hour ago, Dr. Morton, the ward supervisor, barred Grace from Elijah's room, citing visitor restrictions with a clipped tone. "We need calm, not crowds." The racial sting was clear. Her dismissive glance at Grace's worn cardigan, the only black woman in the hall, spoke louder than her words. Elijah's soft grandma, from his bed unanswered, and cousin Maya's hissed "Why her?" cut like shards through the sterile air. They see me as a hospital volunteer, blind to my role as a health equity consultant with ties to Dr. Sullivan, Mercy's chief surgeon. In my bag, a phone with Sullivan's contact pulses like a heartbeat, igniting my plan to honor Grace's war nurse legacy and expose Morton's prejudice, not to ruin her, but to carve our family's dignity into this hospital's walls. This wound isn't fresh, it's rooted deep in Birmingham's red clay. Growing up in Ensley was a tapestry of grit and grace. My parents, Mom Grace, a nurse with hands that healed, and Dad, a steelworker with a steady gaze, wove a life of love. Public schools where I debated policy, church suppers where we sang hymns, a porch where cicadas scored our dreams. I was the firebrand, organizing health fairs, my flyers rallying neighbors for free clinics. Grace was our rock, her Vietnam stories whispered over sweet tea, her medals tucked in a cedar box. But in this city, where Morton's polished badge met her cold stare, our family's warmth was a flame she sought to douse. Her complaints, Grace's outdated advice at community health talks, our rowdy family visits, were a prelude to today's ban, her calm a code for control. The first scar came at 13. I planned a health fair, my posters bright with hope for free screenings. At a family barbecue, I shared them, craving Grace's nod. She was praising Maya's choir solo, her eyes elsewhere.
A Nightbor sniffed, to pushy, favoring a bakesel.
I folded my posters, the ache a quiet ember, a pattern Morton's sneer now fans into flame. In high school, I shone, earning a Morehouse scholarship for public health, my advocacy for black clinics winning city grants. But family gatherings dimmed my light beside Maya's music or cousin's sports. At 16, I secured $5,000 for a mobile clinic, featured in the Birmingham News.
At Christmas, Maya's scholarship stole the stage, my grand a whisper.
"Just health stuff, Lila," Dad teased, his grin warm but fleeting. I vowed to rise, my passion for equity a molten core. After Morehouse, I joined a health equity firm in 2020, climbing to $95,000 by 2025, forging ties with Dr. Sullivan, who knew Grace from Vietnam nurse reunions. I kept my clout veiled, volunteering at Mercy to support patients like Elijah, whose courage through pain mirrored Grace's wartime grit. Morton's ban, citing restrictions after Grace offered post-op advice, was a racist jab, dismissing her expertise as a black elder. Elijah's surgery, though routine, left him fragile, needing Grace's soothing stories, now blocked by Morton's gatekeeping. This hospital, Elijah's recovery, is my breaking point. I arrived at 8 a.m., guiding families through Mercy's maze, the hall buzzing with beeps and whispers. Morton, in a white coat, stopped Grace at noon, her smirk sharp as she waved off Elijah's chart. Maya, a social worker with fire in her veins, pulls me aside, her whisper fierce, "Morton's wrong, Lila."
Grace savet lives. What's your move?
I confide my plan, voice a low spark, "I'll call Sullivan to honor Grace, make them see." Her nod is iron, "Light it up, Lila." Morton's bias burned us, but my phone holds Sullivan's contact, a flare to illuminate Grace's legacy. The hospital's eyes, nurses like Ms. Carter, who nodded earlier, flicker with doubt, a stage set for truth. My firm's advocacy, from rural clinics to city ERs, hones my edge, but Morton's supervisory clout demands precision. Elijah's weak call, Grace's trembling hands, and Nia's quiet pride fuel my resolve. The hallway hums with tension, orderlies pushing carts, families waiting.
Is Gänseflor, spotting Carters hesitant Glance, and Dr. Reed, a resident, shifting uneasily.
Their silence, once neutral, teeters, caught in Morton's web. Maya's intel from hospital staff reveals Morton's history, sidelining black nurses, protocol masking bias. I clutch my clipboard, my plan to reach Sullivan sharpening. His endorsement could restore Grace, his voice a shield against Morton's gate. The hospital's lights buzz, the air thick with unspoken truths. Grace's eyes meet mine, her strength a quiet chord beneath her pain, urging me forward.
Elias recovery, Grace's Vatime tales, now mooted, echo in my mind, a call to arms. My Morehouse fire, once dimmet, Burns bricht, ridi to orchestrate a reckoning.
Morton's prejudice tried to block us, but Grace's legacy will shine, a testament to our family's unyielding worth. The clock ticks toward evening, Birmingham's skyline a backdrop to my resolve. I pace the hall, passing posters of Mercy's history, Grace's era buried in their frames. Maya's late shifts, her fierce texts, ground me. My firm's data, tracking health disparities, steals me.
Sullivans Name, a beacon in my phone, promises a stage where Grace's valor can reichen.
I pause at Elijah's door, its glass reflecting Grace's silhouette, her nurse's pin glinting. Morton's bias tried to erase her, but her legacy will rise, a lighthouse for our family's worth. October 16, 2025, breaks with a damp autumn chill over Birmingham's Ensley, the pale dawn seeping through the fogged windows of my shotgun apartment, its cramped living room a bastion of defiance strewn with patient files, a glowing laptop, and a steaming mug of black tea.
Yesterday's sting at Mercy General Hospital, where Dr. Morton bat my motor, Grace Harris, a Black Vietnam war nurse, from my nephew Elias recovery room, still scorches like a fresh wound.
Morton's curt visitor restrictions, her dismissive sneer at Grace's worn cardigan, was a racist jab that silenced Elijah's call for his grandma and fractured our family's heart. I'm Lila Brooks, a 34-year-old health equity consultant earning $95,000, my soul a furnace of resolve and rage, my clipboard traded for a phone pulsing with Dr. Sullivan's contact, Mercy's chief surgeon who knew Grace from nurse reunions. Today, I'm plotting to enlist Sullivan to honor Grace's war nurse legacy at a hospital community forum, exposing Morton's prejudice. Her bias tried to erase our family's worth, but I'm forging a path to make Grace's valor shine, not for vengeance, but to etch our dignity into Birmingham's red clay. The past 24 hours have been a maelstrom of strategy and sorrow. After Morton's gatekeeping, I sat with Grace in her tiny kitchen, her hands clutching a chipped mug, Elijah's unanswered grandma echoing in her eyes. My Ensley roots, planning health fairs, facing 2 pushy slights, fuel my plan to email Sullivan, whose endorsement could restore Grace's honor. My firm's $50,000 equity grants give me clout, but time is a steel trap. Sullivan's in Birmingham only until tomorrow for a medical conference. Morton's influence festers. She emailed staff post-incident, citing protocol enforcement, her allies spreading it on the hospital's internal portal. My phone buzzes with Maya's text, Elijah's asking for Grace Lila. Morton's emails circulating.
What's the move?
I reply, lunch, 1 p.m., Magic City Grill. I'm on it. Her response, you're our flame.
Burn it down.
At 10 a.m., I scour hospital records, my laptop open to Grace's Vietnam service file, medals for saving soldiers under fire, bolstering my pitch to Sullivan. A knock breaks my focus. Nia, my firm's data analyst, her tablet flashing forum logistics, her voice urgent, the forum's next week, but Morton's allies are pushing to limit non-essential visitors, targeting Grace. They're loud. Move fast. My chest tightens, Morton's prejudice a strangling vine, her calm jab a concrete wall to Elijah's healing. Draft Sullivan's invite, I say, handing Nia his contact.
Il tackle Morton. Nia's note is fierce, my plan a spark in the gloom.
At 1 p.m., I stride into Magic City Grill, its vinyl booths warm with the aroma of fried catfish and hush puppies, a Birmingham soul food haven pulsing with life. Maya, in her social worker's blazer, sits at a corner table, her iced tea sweating, eyes blazing. Grace is crushed, Lila. Morton's email has staff whispering, your play. I lay out my strategy, email Sullivan to speak at the forum, highlight Grace's war nurse record, and confront Morton's bias with a petition at a hospital review board meeting next week. Go fierce, Maya urges, breaking cornbread, her voice steel. Morton thinks she runs Mercy, show Grace is a hero. I recall Morton's sneer, her racism a public scar.
Phones secure, Isai, my voice ash die ember. Sullivan knos her valor.
Maya's grin is a torch, you're Elijah's shield, Lila. Back at my apartment, I craft an email to Sullivan, my fingers trembling, Morton's words a splinter in my thoughts. The forum, set for October 22nd at Mercy's conference hall, is Grace's stage, a chance to rewrite our family's narrative. I text hospital volunteers, support Grace at the forum, October 22nd, 6 p.m. honor her legacy. Maya replies, we're all in. Morton's email looms, shared by her allies, framing Grace as overstepping, but my phone holds Sullivan's number, a lifeline. The neighborhood's whispers grow, staff like Ms. Carter, who nodded yesterday, now pause in Mercy's halls, caught in Morton's web. Her portal posts, once subtle, now wield supervisory clout, hinting at stricter visitor rules to curb disruptions like Grace's presence, a threat to our family's bond. Elijah's quiet recovery, his need for Grace's stories, weighs like lead, his healing bruised by her absence. My firm's advocacy, rural clinics to city ERs, hones my precision, but Morton's hospital ties test it. Nia's research reveals her decade as supervisor, her husband's medical supply contracts boosting her sway. Maya's intel from hospital staff uncovers Morton's history, sidelining black nurses, protocol masking bias.
I studi Grace's service file, Herr Bronze Star Citation Aschilt, my plan to make Sullivans voice ludatan mortungslies.
The forum must draw the community, from Carter's nursing station to Porter's janitorial rounds, to drown her venom. I revisit Grace's kitchen memory, her hands stitching soldiers, her voice soothing Elijah, fueling my fire. Mercy's halls, once Grace's domain, now echo with Morton's rules, her allies eyeing the review board to tighten control. I draft a petition, gathering staff names. Carter's hesitant Grace is gold, Reed's gruff she's legit, building a bulwark for the board meeting.
My Morahaus feier, once dimmet, Blatzes, Ridi to Orchestrate Grace's Reis.
The afternoon fades, Birmingham's skyline a backdrop to my resolve. I walk Ensley streets, passing murals of civil rights heroes, their faces a call to arms.
Grace's strengt, nur sing trug was Chaos, stehls me.
Maya's shifts, her fierce texts, ground me.
Nias data, trekking disparities, sparks hope. Sullivans Name, a beacon in my phone, promises a stage where Grace's valor can reiken.
I pause at our old porch, its boards holding Grace's lullabies, Elijah's giggles. My phone's glow, Sullivan's contact a lighthouse, lights the path.
The evening zetless, the city's hum a pulse beniat my plan.
I linger by my window, Mercy's silhouette looming, its halls a battlefield. Grace's nurse pin, polished today, glints in my mind, a spark for the forum. Morton's prejudice tried to block us, but Grace's legacy will rise, a testament to our family's unyielding worth, ready to echo through Birmingham's heart. October 22, 2025, hums with a crisp autumn dusk over Birmingham's Mercy General Hospital, its conference hall a glowing stage for a community health forum, the air thick with the scent of coffee and pecan pie, mingling with the soft murmur of 300 attendees under warm pendant lights. I'm Lila Brooks, a 34-year-old health equity consultant earning $95,000, standing by a podium, heart pounding like a pulse, my phone warm with a text from Dr. Sullivan, Mercy's chief surgeon and a colleague of my mother, Grace Harris, from Vietnam nurse reunions. A week ago, Dr. Morton barred Grace, a black war nurse, from my nephew Elijah's hospital room, her visitor restrictions, excuse a racist jab that silenced Elijah's call for his grandma. They see me as a volunteer advocate, blind to my clout with Sullivan. Yesterday, Morton escalated, emailing staff to enforce stricter visitor protocols, targeting Grace. Tonight, with Grace beside me, I'm poised for Sullivan to honor her war nurse legacy, and to confront Morton at a hospital review board meeting tomorrow, not to crush her, but to make Grace's valor a beacon that burns through prejudice. The past week has been a crucible of strategy and fire. After Morton's email, I reached Sullivan, leveraging my firm's $50,000 equity grants to secure his forum speech. He reviewed Grace's Vietnam record, saving soldiers under fire, and agreed to speak, but Morton's grip tightened. She rallied allies, pushing to limit non-essential visitors, her protocol, a veiled jab at Grace's black presence. Maya's intel showed staff like Ms. Carter wavering, chilled by Morton's frost. My phone pings with Maya's text, Elijah's missing Grace, Lila. Morton's at the forum. Ready. I reply, 6 p.m. Hall. We'll shine. Her response, you're our spark. Blaze it. At 3 p.m., I met Sullivan in his office, his white coat crisp, eyes warm as he pored over Grace's Bronze Star citation. She's a hero, Lila, he said, drafting a tribute letter. Nia, my analyst, texted, Morton's email hit the portal. Staff are split, some back Grace. Board meetings tense tomorrow. Prep tight. My jaw clenches, Morton's bias a bitter gale, her calm jab a steel wall to Elijah's healing. At 6 p.m., the forum pulses, nurses and families mingling, a slideshow of Mercy's history flickering. Grace, in a navy dress, her nurse's pin glinting, stands with Maya, her eyes fierce yet fragile. Morton, in a grey blazer, lurks near a buffet, her smirk sharp, allies whispering.
Sullivan takes a podium, voice like steady steel. Grace Harris savet Lives in Vietnam, earning a Bronze Star under fire.
Her exclusion from Elijah's room is a disgrace. He holds up her citation, the crowd gasping, clapping, Grace's shoulders easing, Maya's fist pumping. She's Mercy's pride, Sullivan adds, eyeing Morton, her smirk crumbling like ash.
I grip my phone, Mortons email a fading echo, my resolver a roaring flame.
The hall surges, attendees crowding Grace, their phones snapping her pin, clips of Sullivan's speech hitting social media, 20,000 views in minutes. Carter, once hesitant, hugs Grace, her nod firm, you're our hero. Dr. Reed, a resident, claps, his gruff, she's legit, a quiet win. My firm's advocacy, clinics to years, sharpens my edge, but Morton's supervisory clout looms, her husband's medical contracts fueling her sway. Maya's fierce glance, Nia's steady tablet, keep me anchored, their support a spark in the dusk. At 7 p.m. the next day, I stride into Mercy's boardroom for the review meeting, its oak table stark under fluorescent buzz, 40 staff and board members packed into metal chairs. Morton, poised, projects her email, citing visitor policy enforcement. I take the mic, voice a clear blaze, Morton barred Grace, a war nurse for her race, denying Elijah her care. Sullivan's tribute and this petition prove her worth. I raise 25 signatures, Carter's bold, staff murmuring, some cheering, Grace nodding, Nia filming. Board chair Dr. Ellis scribbles notes, his eyes keen.
Morton rieses, voice a jagged this is a stund emes, Brooks.
Grace overstepped, visitor rules protect patients, not chaos. Her allies nod, a board member frowning, murmurs rippling. Her jab, echoing my too pushy youth, scorches, but I'm armed, Nia sliding me 15 staff letters praising Grace's legacy, decrying bias. These demand justice, I say, projecting names. Sullivan's letter is verified, check Vietnam records. The room surges, Ellis calling a vote, review Morton's actions.
5 of 7 Reisehands, Mortons klare a doing call, Herr Alice Mute.
The vote passes, an inquiry launched, Morton's sway fracturing.
Grace grips my hand, Eis aleit, you gave Emil back my Name Lila.
Elijah, visited by Grace today, smiled, his recovery brighter. My Ensley slights, once embers, fuel this victory. My phone holds Sullivan's text, Grace's valor a lighthouse. Morton's bias lingers, she's rallying contract allies, hinting at policy tightening. But the forum's fire and the inquiry's spark blaze our path.
Maya's note, Nia's tablet, and Carter's clap encore me.
The hospital's frost thaws, nurses nod, families wave, but Morton's ties demand vigilance. My firm's data, tracking disparities, drives my aim, but her influence looms. Grace's pin, polished today, gleams in my mind, a spark for tomorrow's stand. The night deepens, Birmingham's skyline a backdrop to my resolve. I walk Mercy's halls, passing photos of its history, Grace's era buried in frames. Maya's shifts, her fierce texts, ground me. Nia's analytics, boosting Grace's clip to 50,000 views, spark hope. Sullivan's tribute, etched in memory, fuels my drive, his endorsement a bridge to Grace's honor. I pause at Elijah's room, its glass reflecting Grace's silhouette, her stories soothing him. My phone's glow, Sullivan's contact a beacon, lights the path.
The evening zettles, the city's pulse a erhalbselunterham beniat my plan. I linger by the hall, Mercy's legacy a Battlefield. Grace's vatime tales, whisperet to Elia, steel me.
Carter's support, Reed's nod, and Porter's quiet grace is gold build my shield.
The board meetings echo, the crowd's applause, promise a stage where Grace's valor can reichen.
Morton's prejudice tried to block us, but her legacy will rise, a testament to our family's unyielding worth, ready to echo through Birmingham's heart. October 29, 2025, dawns with a golden autumn haze over Birmingham's Ensley, the Mercy General Hospital courtyard transformed into a vibrant community health fair, its air rich with the sizzle of fried green tomatoes, the jangle of a gospel choir, and the laughter of kids darting through a wellness tent under canopies of crimson leaves. I'm Lila Brooks, a 34-year-old health equity consultant earning $95,000, standing by a check-in booth, heart steady yet alight like a struck match, my phone buzzing with a Birmingham News article, War Nurses' Valor Shakes Mercy. Last week's hospital forum, where Dr. Sullivan hailed my mother, Grace Harris, a Black Vietnam War nurse, for her Bronze Star heroism, cracked the hospital's silence. My review board speech, backed by Sullivan's letter and 25 signatures, sparked a 5-2 vote to probe Dr. Morton's racist ban of Grace from my nephew Elijah's room. Yesterday, the board issued Morton a formal reprimand, curbing her supervisory clout. Today, with Grace's nurse pin glinting, I'm forging a path to cement our triumph at this fair, countering Morton's fading bias and uniting our community, not to bury her, but to make Grace's legacy a flame that warms Birmingham's heart. The past week has been a forge of resilience and reckoning. After Morton's protocol email targeted Grace, I rallied staff, leveraging my firm's $50,000 grants to amplify Sullivan's tribute, 75,000 views now. The board's inquiry found Morton's ban unjustified, recommending sensitivity training, her sway unraveling. Her portal post, hinting at policy tightening, stirred allies, but neighbors like Miss Carter shared Grace's clip, melting her frost. My phone pings with Maya's text, Elijah's smiling with Grace Lila. Morton's quiet, but her allies whisper, Fair nicht. I reply, 6 p.m. courtyard. We'll rise. Her response, You're our torch. Light it up. At 10 a.m., I draft a grant proposal, my laptop open to Unity Networks funds, $70,000 now, fueled by forum buzz, for a $10,000 nursing scholarship in Grace's name. Nia arrives, her tablet flashing fair logistics, her voice eager, the news wants a Grace feature, 100,000 views.
Carter's serving limonade, Porter's grilling.
Morton's allies are mute. My chest eases, Morton's prejudice a wilting shadow, her calm jab a faint hum.
Spritze invites, I sei, handing Nia flürs. Il prep Grace.
Nia's nod is fierce, our plan a blazing spark. At 1 p.m., I visit Grace at her bungalow, its porch sagging under vines, Elijah sketching beside her, his post-op glow bright. Grandma's stories make me strong, he says, Grace's smile soft, her eyes regaining fire. I outline my strategy, rally neighbors at the fair, present Sullivan's letter and a petition with 30 signatures, and push for visitor policy reforms at a final board hearing next week. Go bold, Maya urges, joining us, her blazer crisp. Morton tried to dim us, show Grace is gold. I recall Morton's sneer, her racism a public scar.
Phones secure, I sei, my voice a die flare.
The fair's our stage. Grace's grip is firm, you're our voice Lila. At 3 p.m., I stop by Carter's house, her porch blooming with azaleas, her laugh warm, my lemonades for Grace Lila. Porter, sweeping his stoop, signs the petition, his tale of Morton snubs against black janitors fueling my resolve. Their support, once cautious, buries Morton's chill, her reprimand quelling her contract allies, though whispers hint she's lobbying for a board vote to restore order. My firm's data, tracking disparities, drives my aim, but Morton's influence lingers, her husband's contracts a fading threat. At 6 p.m., the courtyard thrums, 250 neighbors mingling, kids getting free checkups, tables laden with tomatoes, ribs, and Nia's cornbread. Grace, in a teal dress, her pin shining, accepts a community plaque, her voice steady. I nursed through war for love, like I do for Elijah.
The crowd roars, Maya filming, Carter cheering, Porter clapping.
I speak, voice a clear spark. Morton barred Grace for her race, wounding Elijah. Sullivan's tribute and your 30 signatures prove her worth. This scholarship heals our community. I raise the petition, Reed nodding, the news snapping photos.
The choir's harmony weaves trug, kids crowding Grace, Herr Pin Asta under canopies.
Morton's absence, her office dark across the lot, marks her fall, the board's inquiry, now viral, shifting tides. Dr. Ellis, board chair, attends, pledging, we're revising visitor rules for equity.
Carter rises a glass, to Grace's valor. Porter hooks Elia, Jure our joy.
The fair's glow, canopies, gospel, laughter, drowns Morton's frost, the scholarship launching with Sullivan's donation. Maya pulls me aside, you reshaped mercy, Lila, but Morton's allies want a vote to block reforms.
My Ensley slides, once embers, blatze this victory.
My phone holds Sullivan's text, Grace's legacy a constellation.
The night deepens, the courtyard's pulse are erhabselunterm of hope.
I walk the tents, passing wellness booths, their signs a call to heal. Grace's strength, nursing Elijah through recovery, steals me. Maya's shifts, her fierce texts, ground me. Nia's analytics, pushing Grace's clip to 150,000 views, spark hope. Sullivan's tribute, etched in memory, fuels my drive, his endorsement a bridge to Grace's honor. I pause by the choir, their voices lifting memories of Grace's lullabies, Elijah's giggles. By November 4th, Morton resigns, Ellis leads the board, visitor policies open, Grace mentors nurses, my firm's fund hits $90,000. I stand by the booth, phone in hand, my legacy not just $90,000, but a family lifted, a hospital reborn, Grace's valor a supernova against prejudice's shadow.
Sullivan emails, Jure unstoppable. My Morehouse fire, once dimmet, burns eternal, a testament to justice.
The courtyard once tense, hums as one. Carter's lemonade, Porter's ribs, Maya's cheers, Grace's pin, a chorus of worth, our family's legacy a timeless flame.
The fair winds down, Liebes Rustling underfoot.
I linger by Grace's plaque, her citation glowing in my mind, a spark for the hearing. Morton's prejudice tried to block us, but Grace's legacy rises, a testament to our family's unyielding worth, ready to warm Birmingham's soul. November 5, 2025, pulses with a warm autumn dusk over Birmingham's Ensley, the Mercy General Hospital's community garden a radiant stage for a healing celebration, its air woven with the smoky tang of barbecued ribs, the soulful strum of a blues guitar, and the joyful hum of neighbors threading through marigold beds and rosemary patches. I'm Lila Brooks, a 34-year-old health equity consultant earning $95,000, standing by a flower-draped podium, heart soaring like a freed sparrow, my phone alight with a Birmingham News headline, War Nurse's Legacy Transforms Mercy. Last week's health fair, where my mother, Grace Harris, was honored with a community plaque for her Vietnam War nurse heroism, cemented our victory over Dr. Morton's racist ban from my nephew Elijah's hospital room. My petition, backed by 30 signatures and Drive Sullivan's tribute, ignited a 5-2 board inquiry, leading to Morton's reprimand and resignation. Yesterday, the board voted 6-1 to overhaul visitor policies, opening Mercy's doors fully. Today, with Grace's nurse pin framed in our home, I'm weaving a final symphony of unity, mending our family and community, not to erase Morton, but to make Grace's legacy a fire that kindles Birmingham's spirit. The past week has been a forge of triumph and restoration. After Morton's policy tightening post rallied her contract allies, I harnessed my firm's $50,000 grants, amplifying Grace's viral clip, now at 200,000 views. The board's reforms, mandating open visitation and mandatory diversity training, shattered her influence. Her resignation, citing personal priorities, veiled her retreat, her allies silenced. My phone buzzes with Maya's text, Elijah's beaming with Grace Lila.
Mortongskone. Celebration tonicht.
I reply, 6 p.m., garden. We'll rise. Her response, you're our lighthouse.
Schiene Firse.
At 10 a.m., I draft a scholarship proposal, my laptop open to Unity Networks funds. $100,000 now, fueled by fair buzz, for a $15,000 nursing program in Grace's name, aimed at training underserved youth. Nia arrives, her tablet aglow with celebration plans, her voice electric. The news is profiling Grace, 250,000 views. Carter's baking pies, Porter's grilling ribs, Reed's bringing lemonade. Morton's allies are silent. My chest expands, Morton's bias a withered echo, her calm jab a faint murmur. Spread the invites, I say, handing Nia posters.
Il prep Grace.
Nia's grin is a spark, our plan a blazing crescendo. At 1 p.m., I visit Grace at her bungalow, its kitchen steeped in the warm scent of baking cornbread, Elijah sketching superheroes, his post-op glow a quiet miracle. Grandma's stories make me brave, he says, tracing a cape, Grace's smile soft, her eyes brimming with renewed fire. I share the scholarship plan, detailing how it will fund nursing students like those Grace inspired. Grace's hug is fierce, Maya joining us, her blazer crisp. You turned Mercy around, Lila. Elijah's thriving. My folder, once clutching Sullivan's contact, overflows with staff letters. Carter lauding Grace's compassion, Porter decrying Morton's slights against black workers, Reed praising her wartime grit. The news headline, Nurses' Valor Heals Hospital Divide. Trends, neighbors texting support, even Nurse Miss Hayes, once Morton's ally, waving from her driveway. At 3 p.m., I stop by Carter's house, her yard a riot of zinnias, her chuckle warm. My pecan pies are for Grace, Lila.
She's our heart.
Porter, polishing his grill, pledges scholarship funds, his tale of Morton's bias against black janitors stoking my resolve. Their support, once tentative, smothers Morton's chill, her resignation quelling her contract allies, though whispers hint she's advising a rival hospital's board. My firm's analytics, mapping health gaps, fuel my precision, but Morton's shadow fades, her husband's medical contracts a spent force. Reed, crossing Carter's lawn, shares a nod, Grace taught me nursing in '98. She's gold. At 6 p.m., the garden thrums, 350 neighbors swaying, kids weaving through herb beds with glow sticks, tables groaning with ribs, pies, and Maya's mustard greens. Grace, in a navy dress, her framed nurse pin gleaming nearby, accepts a city citation, her voice steady, I nursed through war for love, and I'll keep loving Elijah. The crowd erupts, Nia filming, Carter cheering, Porter clapping. I speak, voice a clear spark, Morton barred Grace for her race, wounding Elijah. Sullivan's tribute and your 30 signatures proved her worth. This scholarship builds our future. I raise the petition, Reed's eyes bright, the news snapping photos.
The blues guitar vivs a soulful triad, kids crowding Grace, her legacy a star under Rosemary's Cent.
Mercy's new policies, announced by Chair Ellis, seal our victory, allocating $25,000 for inclusive care initiatives.
Carter hooks Grace, Jure our soul ems, Harris. Porter rises a glass, to Elias courage.
The celebration's warmth, marigolds, blues, laughter, drowns Morton's frost, the scholarship launching with Sullivan's $5,000 pledge.
Maya Puls Emil Aside. You hielt Birmingham, Lila.
Grace is unstoppable. I recall my Ensley slights, my 2 pushy fares, now fueling this triumph. My phone holds Sullivan's text, Grace's legacy a radiant orbit. The night deepens, the garden's fragrance a pulse of renewal. I wander the paths, herb beds whispering stories of care, their resilience a mirror to Grace's. Her wartime strength, soothing Elijah through pain, fortifies me. Maya's late shifts, her fierce texts, anchor me. Nia's data, pushing Grace's clip to 350,000 views, sparks hope. Sullivan's tribute, a cornerstone of our fight, drives my resolve, his endorsement a bridge to Grace's eternal honor. I pause by a lavender sprig, its scent evoking Grace's wartime bandages, Elijah's recovery laughter. By November 12th, Morton exits Birmingham, Ellis leads Mercy, Grace mentors nurses, Elijah runs with friends, my firm's fund hits $120,000. I stand by the podium, phone in hand, my legacy not just $120,000, but a family restored, a hospital reborn, Grace's valor a supernova against prejudice's void.
Sullivan texts, Jure a force. My Morahaus fire, once dimmet, burns eternal, a testament to justice.
The garden once fraught, hums as one. Carter's pies, Porter's ribs, Maya's cheers, Grace's pin, a chorus of worth, our family's legacy a timeless blaze.
Se Zelebration softens, stars glinting ab Ofe. I linger bei se lavender, Grace's Zitation a die glow in my heart, an ember for eternity.
Morton's prejudice sought to bar us, but Grace's legacy rises, a testament to our family's unyielding worth, etched into Birmingham's living roots. Thank you for joining this journey. Share your stories of healing and justice below, and if this tale resonated, give it a thumbs up.
Valor Blooms from Prejudices Ashes.